Okay, so we've got a bit of a split lunge now. I've got a slider next to me, which I'll progress to. You don't have to have a slider. It could be of a paper plate. It could be that you just have a piece of paper that slides underneath your foot if you're on a wooden floor or obviously not a carpet. Okay, so where I'm going to start off with first position is I'm going to take my right foot slightly forward. So I'm in a kind of a train track posture, still hip distance. I've not gone wider. So I've got a couple of planks distance between my feet. In order to get into position, I've lifted up off the back heel, okay? Shoulders back down your back, chest sternum stays lifted. I hinge at the hips. I want you to imagine you're pulling up your socks or you're doing up your shoelaces. So hinge back, sit down into it. Imagine you're pulling up your socks, push and stand. So my heel stays lifted, push back, sink down into the hips, pull your socks up or your boots up and stand. Okay, so once you've got the action of the push back and then the sink down into the knee, you will be in a lovely position. If I turn that side profile quickly, you will be able to, so hips back, sit back into it. You can see your knee is sitting behind your toe, not leaning into it, which puts more weight and pressure through that knee. Okay, so it's a hinge, push, sit down into it as if you're pulling up your socks, your tights or your boots, come up and stand. Once you are happy with the technique, hips back, sink into it, you can lift the arms. Chest stays lifted. Now guys, just be mindful, what people tend to do is, in order to think that they've got a deeper lunge, they go into a position and then they drop the chest. So I've not actually got any deeper into my lunge, I've just dropped and I've lost that engagement through your abdominals and the spine length. So it's a hinge, sink into the hips, chest stays lifted, ribs stay strong, so I'm able to grip into my abdominals and I lift. Okay, so I've done 5 or 6 on that side. I would then take the other foot forward, hinge, sit down, get your technique right as if you're pulling up through your socks. So I'm just saying that because what it does is makes you keep your knee behind your toe. Okay, again then hinge back, sink into it, arm floats if you feel comfortable and lift. So I've placed the slider here to develop that for anybody that feels they want a little bit more from it. I'm going to take the foot forward with the slider. Now what makes this hard is that I've got to stop it, okay? Otherwise I'm going to end up doing the splits and it could go in any direction. So you do have to be quite safe with these, please. Any hip rehab concerns or just general weakness in the area, I would refrain from using that. I would build up with the first option. Okay, so these are more of a challenge for those of you that are happy and ready to proceed. We slide the slider forward, the heel lifts. We've stopped it from going too far forward. We either do our shoelaces or we float. We come out and we drag, so we're on a drag. So slide it forward, stop it because it will keep going. The back heel lifts, sink back, chest lifted, bring it in. If I turn that side profile again, if I can get this in shot, it's a slide forward. Lift up, push the hips, again as if you're going to do your boots or pick something up off the floor. So it's functional movement patterns, functional. So you would maybe step forward to pick something up off the floor. You'd bend your knees, you'd pick it up, you'd brace your core because it's heavy, you'd come up, you'd slide it in. Okay, last one. So it's a step or a slide forward, the back heel lifts, push back, brace the core to pick up that heavy object and you slide in. So as I've said guys, you could use a paper plate, piece of paper. I've got sliders. I know some of you have bought sliders after using them in class with me. You can purchase them either way if you can get hold of any of them at the moment. Build up to the slider. I started off on the spot. It's a functional movement pattern as if you're picking something up, okay? Change legs, rehearse it. As you feel that you get stronger, you can add on the slider. So it's harder because you've got the push and the pull, the drag. Okay, any questions on them, just send me a message and I'm happy to help. Okay.